Okay, this is a question related to, first of all, he is saying 3 points A, B, and C are such that B is the midpoint of AC. So I am taking here a line to show this. This is my point A here. This is point B over here. No, B is not here. B is the midpoint over there. And C is here, where the coordinates of A is 2m, 2 comma m, and the coordinates of B is n minus 6, n minus n comma minus 6 over there. Then he is saying where m and n are constants, find the coordinates of C in terms of m and n. So I'm taking here C as x comma y, and I know about the midpoint formula, that is from A to C will be for 2 plus x over 2, x over 2, and that is equal to the x of this B. It was n of B. This is my...
Yes, sir. Actually, I was wondering how did this 2 plus x over 2 came? Was it a fundamental formula?
Yeah, that is from midpoint formula, like it is x1, it is y1, it is x2, it is y2, and midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 over 2, like this, x1 plus x2 over 2 comma y1 plus y2 over 2. So by getting x1 plus x2 over 2, you will get this n over here, and from y1 plus y2 over 2, you will get minus 6 over here. Okay. Okay, from here I will have to make x coordinate in the form of n. Then it is 2 plus x is equal to 2n, and x is equal to 2n minus 2. This is x for this C, this value over there. After that I will have to go for y also, and then y is y1 plus y2, m plus y over 2 is equal to minus 6. So I will have to make y as subject now. M plus y is equal to minus 12, and it was y. So now y is equal to minus m minus 12. So the coordinates of this point C is 2n minus 2 comma minus m minus 12. Yes, is it clear now?
Yes. Where do we put it? Oh, do we compare them or something?
For the next one, maybe we use the comparison over there. But right now here, the vertices for C, which he was asking, find the coordinates of C in terms of m and n. We have got in terms of n and m over there. These are the vertices for C over there. Now he is saying the line y is equal to mx plus c passes through C. So C is having these vertices. This is the line which is passing y is equal to x plus 1, passes through C, and is perpendicular to AB. Okay. So it is perpendicular to line AB.
So we will put the values of these x and y in terms of m and n in the y and x place. We will put in that equation y is equal to x plus 1, and then we will get equation 1, and after that we will have to find the gradient MAB something.
Yes, yes.
And
We will equate that gradient with minus 1. We will equate that gradient because this is equation in which it is perpendicular. So for that equation AB, it means it is m1 m2 equal to minus 1, and we will get perpendicular m1 m2 equal to -1, and from this equation when I compare this with y is equal to mx plus c, my m is 1 over here. This is 1. This m is having value 1, so I'm putting 1 over here, and 1 over here, and m2 is still there for AB, that is -1, and m2 is equal to -1. So by taking the gradient of AB, I will put it equal to -1, and then simultaneously both of those equations will be used, and m and n values can be calculated.
Okay.
Alright, you can do this 5 marks part.
And after that, I wanted to ask, after we get the question number 2, which is I have written n minus 8 in brackets plus 2n is equal to -11.
So the constant numbers without variable m and n will be added, subtracted, and linear equation in the form of
Yes.
m and n and the constant number. Second equation is ready, first equation is ready. Then simultaneously both equations should be solved over there.
But how did we get this n minus 8 plus 2n is equal to -11 after we found out the
Okay,
equation?
I do it for you. I do it for you. Wait a second.
No, I just wanted to understand that.
Just we have to do the simultaneous equations, like make m subject from one equation and put that value of m in place of m in the form of n expression, and there will be a linear equation of n variable, and by arranging the constant numbers and subtracting and adding the n values, you will get n. By getting that value to put back into m for finding that, you can calculate over there.
Yes.
Two linear equations, the solution is by two methods, equating the coefficients, and also by the substitution method. And if you go with the substitution method, make m subject from one equation, then put it into the other equation to get the n value. When you get the n value in the form of a constant number, put that n value back into the equation and get m as a constant over there. Okay.
Yes.
Mm, is it 16 can be done?
Sorry, sir. What are you saying?
Look at the question number 16 over there.
Yes.
Is it easy to do?
Uh, uh, Maybe I don't know. Because I have to brainstorm everything to find out what I actually have to put the formulas and how to do it. It took me a lot of time. I was struggling really last night before I completed everything.
Okay, I do it for you. Just try to use the formulas according to the given data so that it can easily be understandable over there. This is question number 16. Okay. Here he is saying point A, B, and C are the coordinates, and where K is a constant. Given that AB is equal to BC, it means I will have to use the distance formula. Then I will have to place both distances equal and try to find the constant K value over there. So AB is the distance formula, which I know that the distance formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square root over there. Like this, it is the distance formula. Right now I'm saying to you, go with for AB and then go for BC and equate both of these values. So for AB, I'm taking here AB and going to take the distance over there. Then what is this? 5 minus 3 minus 3 whole square. This is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1, 1 minus 7 whole square, 7 whole square. Okay. Then we will get 5 minus plus 3, 8 square plus 6 minus 6 square. Even power is ignoring the minus sign over there. Then it is means 6 square, like will come like 36 later on. 6 square, I'm taking under the square root over there, and it is equal to 64 plus 36, 100. So I'm taking 100 under root here as my AB. I know even though that this is equal to 10, and I'm taking it as it is. I'm not taking the square root over here. Then I'm saying BC. BC. According to BC, I'm applying the same formula again for it. It is minus 1 minus 5, minus 1 minus 5 whole square, minus 1 minus 5 whole square. Then there is k minus 1 plus k minus 1 whole square. From here I know that this is 6 square means it is 36. 36 plus according to the identity of algebra, k minus 1 will be written as k square minus 2k plus 1. So I'm taking it under root. Now simplifying it more, then I'm saying it should be taken in the form of k square minus 2k plus 37 under root. Now according to the given condition, a is b is equal to bc, I am placing both of these values equal according to condition. So I am saying here under root k square minus 2k plus 37 is equal to under root 100. So taking square on both sides, square root is on the equation both sides, I can do the same thing over there. So k square minus 2k plus 37 minus 100 equals to 0. Okay. Now if I subtract minus 100 plus 37, it means I can simplify it with the algebraic form. K square minus 2k minus 63 equals to 0. According to midterm break, I'm making it k square minus 9k plus 7k as a midterm break, minus 63 equals to 0. K into k minus 9 plus 7 into k minus 9 equals to 0. So k is equal to minus 7 and k equals to 9 over there. And he was also saying to me, and find the possible values of k. So these two are the possible values of the k for this expression over there. So my c can have minus 7, or k can have the value of 9 over there also. It can be any value of this. Now he is saying here the perpendicular bisector of AB intersects the x-axis at D. Calculate the coordinates of D. Perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, it means first I will have to go with the gradient, then I will go to take the perpendicular gradient. After that, by taking the midpoint, I will join the line, I will get the line, then I will put the y equal to 0, because on x-axis the vertices of y coordinate is 0 on x-axis, so I will put 0 there and I will get the x coordinate over here. So for the whole process I'm using AB minus 3 comma 7. A is minus 3 comma 7 is A, and B is 5 comma 1. So first of all I want to calculate its midpoint. Midpoint is minus 3 plus 5, minus 3 plus 5 by 2 comma 7 plus 1 over 2. So my midpoint is equal to 2 over 2, that is 1, and 8 over 2, that is 4. This is the vertices for midpoint. After that I'm taking the gradient for line AB, that is m for m1 I am saying here. Y2 minus y1, 1 minus 7 over 1 minus 7 over 5 minus minus 3, 5 minus minus 3. So I'm getting here minus 6 over 8. Going with it, a minus 3 by 4. This is gradient for AB. I will have to go for perpendicular gradient. So that is m1 m2 equal to minus 1. So m2 I'm directly putting here. I'm just inverting 4 by 3 and also changing its sign over there. 4 by 3 and sign is changed. So by using this perpendicular line formula, by putting this minus 3 by 4 in place of m1, 4 is being multiplied and minus 3 will be down and minus minus cancelled, and I will get 4 by 3. For this one, this is the gradient for perpendicular and of line AB. Now I will have to go with the equation of perpendicular bisector over there. Equation of perpendicular bisector, I know the formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Then I will say here y minus, for the midpoint the vertices which I have, that is 1 and 4. 4 is the y over here. 4 is equal to 4 by 3 into x minus 1. So just by arranging all of this, I will say here I am going to multiply this 3 on the whole equation. Then it is 3y minus 12 is equal to 4x minus 4. And from here I am taking this minus 12 on the other side. 3y is equal to 4x plus 8. And now he was saying to me that this is the perpendicular bisector equation, but you will have to find the coordinates of D which is passing through x-axis. It means D is on x-axis, it means y is 0 for that point. So 3 into 0 is equal to 4x plus 8. So 4x is equal to minus 8, x is equal to minus 2. So the vertices of the point D in the form of coordinates. So the vertices of point D are minus 2 comma 0. This was our shit whiteboard close हो गया.